Hi, welcome everyone to our Prairie Circle Chat today. We really love to share the education from our Prairie Circle and community because it's so invaluable to all of our journeys, and that's what we're here to do today. Typically, we focus just on general education, but one of the questions we've been getting most often is which hugger is right for me? And so we brought in a couple of amazing humans that have a lot of long-time experience with prairie wear and their huggers and from different perspectives. So today our topic is which hugger is right for you? And we'll start with some introductions because I'd really love for you guys to meet these two amazing humans that do great work in their community with education and support every single day. Talking about you two. So my name is Holly. I'm the CEO and owner here at Prairie Wear. And we'll start with Sonya and Caroline. Who would like to go?
Sonia, you can go ahead. You go
Okay.
ahead, Sonia.
I'm Sonia. I live in Clarksville, Tennessee. I'm the owner of Love is Pink, and I am also a school full-time counselor, full-time school counselor.
Mm-hmm. And Love is Pink is a retail store for those of you that might not know.
Yes,
Yeah,
located in Clarksville downtown.
awesome. Cool.
Hi. Hi, I'm an OG to Prairie Wear, but
Yeah.
my name is Caroline, and I have the BRCA2 mutation. I had a precancerous mass back in 2016, and then I got diagnosed with breast implant illness in 2019. I had to have my reconstruction done again. But I guess my claim to fame is that I ran my first ever marathon 11 months after my mastectomy. And I qualified for Boston, and now I'm a certified health coach for women who are high risk for cancer, have cancer, or who have had cancer.
Wow. So one of the commonalities, which I find always so amazing with our Prairie Circle, is for the two of you, which neither of you have met before this chat, I would think, and also I hadn't met either of you in person on video. And what is so similar is that connection between nutrition, activity, and overall health. And I feel like both of you found Prairie Wear through that journey. So when Caroline said, OG, she is the very first person ever to tag Prairie Wear on a post before we really did social media. and and so maybe we can start there in terms of which hugger is right for you. It's different sometimes as you start your journey, in the middle of your journey, day to day, it can change. Carolyn, would you like to start with how did your journey with Prairie Wear begin? Which hugger did you start with?
So I started with the Prima because it's tighter, and I really wore it. I wish I knew about it when I had just had my surgery because it would have been helpful with the lymphedema because now I actually developed lymphedema. Um, but it was really helpful when I was getting back into running because you want to have a really supportive compression when you're healing because you don't want it to move around a lot after you can move on to one of the looser bras that are not quite as supportive and compressed as the Prima is, but that was really helpful for getting back because it's like you're getting used to this new chest. You don't want things to move around. You need to keep everything tight to kind of prevent the lymphedema, like I said. And it was really, really helpful.
Did you find that the extra coverage and compression helped you feel more secure? I hear that a lot. That's why I ask.
Yes, it did because you're like, is something gonna pop out? Is something gonna break? Like, I when I ran my first race after the surgery, it was about 6 months after. I swear I thought that I ripped something inside because I wasn't wearing a very supportive bra. I won't name names, but it wasn't like a mastectomy bra brand. But that was exactly the point. You need something that is specific to your needs, and this is specific to those needs, whether it's just getting out of surgery or getting back into fitness. So I think the
Mhm.
Primo was excellent for that.
And when you were looking for bras, how did you find us? Because you found us.
I don't
I
remember.
don't either. I feel like I knew the story way back when, but I'm always curious how people find us. And I think the journey always begins of trying to find a better, more supportive bra.
I
So
think,
sometimes,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I think I was just maybe Googling it, like mastectomy bras for running,
Um,
because even though it doesn't seem that long ago, it is kind of like 2016. I didn't know very many people who were exercising, or at least around my age, who were exercising
mm,
or doing like long distance running right after the mastectomy. So it didn't really have anyone to ask. So I feel like I probably went on like a deep dive like Google search.
mm. And I think it's like Google or medical professional. And my point there was for anybody watching is there's lots of resources. So whether it's Prairie Wear or another bra, get educated. Find something that works for you. So I just wanted to share that part of it. And Sonya, I feel like you've also tried every single one of our huggers and look amazing. She does some awesome videos in her hugger, including your run hugger
I was
from the
going to say
last couple of
for
days.
marathon training because I'm doing well, I've done two before cancer. So this is the first one I've done after cancer. And I went for a training run, and I can say I wore the Prima bra, like you were saying it. And I could tell that it kind of gave me more support before I had cancer. Because now that I compare it to the bras I used to wear when I was training for a marathon, I would say the Prima bra made me feel more secure. It wasn't really tight. I didn't get hot, which I was really surprised. I thought I was going to burn up outside, but it was breathable and it kept me together.
Mhm.
So I really enjoyed it. It was a lot better than the other bras that I used to wear before cancer.
Wow.
And a lot of women think if they don't have cancer, they can't wear the bras. But I'm like, no, you can still wear the bras. You still need compression when you're out running or doing anything.
Hmm. Or for myself, I have not had breast cancer. I wear our huggers every single day and have since day one. But for me, it's about wearing something that's chemical free. So Okotex certified, that I know that I'm not introducing my body to something that's not great for it. And I just
I can't hear you.
Oh, we lost your
Yeah.
audio.
Okay.
I had calls coming in. I'm so popular today. Um, I feel like just with how much we have to sit in front of videos and do meetings, just having a bra that doesn't dig and poke and change circulation. I had no idea how much regular bras, especially underwire, really stop the circulation and flow of not only lymph fluid, but your blood and
Yeah.
oxygen,
Right.
right?
It's important. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So for me, that's definitely been part of my awareness and journey. And I started with the Prima because that was our first hugger, and that was in my hot yoga phase. And I learned from that opportunity that the sweat wicks away from your body, and I stayed cooler than I ever thought that I would wearing a Prima. And I feel like, Carolyn, that was your first post was a yoga post in your Prima
Yeah.
with us.
Yeah, I that's how kind of I like got back into fitness. I was doing or like just like back moving around. It helped me get my range of motion back, and I wore my Prima to my Bikram yoga classes. And and I will say, like how you said before, the wicking technology helps you also not to chafe, which is so important when you're healing, because especially if you're high risk for lymphedema, you can't chafe, you can't get cuts, you have to be so careful. So
Mhm.
if you chafe under your armpits, it makes you a higher risk for getting lymphedema or making your lymphedema worse.
Yeah. And I see lots of questions coming in, guys. We will answer those, and feel free to DM us as well because these chats go very, very quickly. But I think what I'm also hearing is that as you're going through your journey, it's often a different hugger. So for me, I wear my Luma in the morning because that's when I do my workout is early in the morning. I always wear my Luma. I hang it up, let it dry because I don't wash it. Probably once a week is how much I wash my Luma. So that's my first bra in the morning. I wear the Aria quite often. I wear Arvita because that's kind of like my OG. I love that bra. It's so comfy. But I'm also, in terms of like your journey, I feel like both of you have worn all the huggers. What would be the next thing that you would wear after your Prima?
Um,
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's kind of like you said, and that's what I had put down. That it depends on the journey you're in. So,
Yeah.
like you said, you might wake up, put on the Luma. Usually, if I'm going to the gym, like you said, I'll put on my Luma. If I'm not at the gym and I'm just around the house, lounging around, I'll put on my Prima. A lot of women who come in the store say they haven't worn a bra in so long. And when I let them put on one of the Primas or any of the Prairie Wear bras, the first thing they comment on is, oh my God, it doesn't even feel like I'm wearing a bra. It feels really good on their skin.
Yeah.
So, and that was one thing that I really liked when I first went through the surgery. I didn't have a Prairie Wear. That's why I love your products. I love your bras, all of them. And then once I went to have my reconstruction surgery, I was able to put on the Prima, and I could immediately tell the
Mhm.
difference from when I first had surgery, the mastectomy, versus this time having being able to wear the Prima. So
Mhm.
the material is by far the greatest. So I like them
Nice.
all. I love the Prima, the Luma. I'm getting used
Good.
to the new one, the Aria. I like how low cut it is in the back. That was one
Hmm.
thing I really liked. So if you're wearing a shirt that's low, the strap is kind of low in the back, the hook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Vita for every day, and I kind of like I need to have kind of looser fitting bras. I actually have developed kind of DVTs in my arms from my surgery, so I need to have that blood flow, like you mentioned before. So the Vita is really nice for everyday wear, moving around at work, and fortunately, I get to wear scrubs every day. So like I'm pretty comfortable. So the Vita goes perfectly
Yeah.
with my little fit.
Yeah. And I think, kind of to the point of what you guys are talking about, some of those things, if you walk into a room and you just feel really good in it, you don't always know why, but there's someone who put a lot of thought into that
Mm,
room. And I think, kind of similar to huggers, we put so much thought into how does it work with the body? How do you work with anybody on their journey? Those kind of things. So one of the things that really kind of opened my mind to how bras could fit better is most bras have a sewn in band at the bottom, which, whether it's underwire or a cut and sew bra that has a seam, that still inhibits circulation. And you look at the body drawings of the circulatory system and the lymphedema system, and there's this huge watershed right here, right where that band goes. And so sometimes at the end of the day, if you felt a little puffy or uncomfortable, and everyone says I have to rip my bra off at the end of the day, that's why. We just didn't
huh.
know that, right?
Yeah.
That's
And
so interesting.
isn't it?
Yeah,
I know.
that makes
So much
sense.
to learn. And if you look at people Google it, lymphatic system, all of these lymphatic drains and the circulation, we want to keep that going, support circulation. And that's a huge reason why we went to seamless knit, is
Mm.
to really support that circulation for recovery. So who knew
It's
Who
until we
knew?
did some
good for
research?
incisions because
Yeah.
it's very soft on the incision. A lot of those regular bras, the band is so hard on the
Hmm.
incision. So I noticed with the
Yeah.
print wear, it didn't give
Yeah.
the same effect. So
And also specific to our Prima and Vita, the bottom band is meant to bridge the inframammary fold specifically for incisions.
mhm.
So even though you don't know why it feels so good, that's another reason, because where those incision points are, it actually bridges over it. So it's not rubbing constantly
Yeah,
on those sensitive areas. And then both the Prima and the Vita have the high axilla coverage, which just again doesn't irritate those incision points and or give that high compression where you need it for axillary node dissection. So yeah, very
You
specific.
guys
So you don't know
really
why you
put so
love it,
much
but you're
thought.
like, sorry, what was that?
You guys put so much thought into every square inch.
Yeah, Yeah, we really have and continue to do that. Feedback is incredibly important to us, and that's why we do these talks as well. Everything you guys share with us, we take that back to our think tank and we say, okay, what can we do? And the ARIA was really born, out of that as well. We've been wear testing and developing that for 3 years. It takes a really long time to do these things. But that was that next step of, okay, I'm wearing this front zip bra. It's awesome, but I'd like it to wear under more clothes. And I'd like it still to be supportive and safe for my skin, but maybe not as high compression. So that's really where the ARIA came in as that next step and in anyone's journey. And I love that. Have you guys had a chance to try on the ARIA?
I've tried it on.
Mine
Yeah.
just came today, so I haven't gotten the opportunity to, but I look forward to it.
Yeah.
I'll post
Well, I'll
on
be
it.
curious to get the feedback.
Yeah.
In our wear testing, we do all sizes and shapes and cup size and, from extra small to 3XL, we're always wear testing. And so feedback is huge and always appreciated. Um, I think one of the questions we get most often is, what would you recommend for people in terms of the hugger? And how would you guys answer that? Because I feel like you probably answer that, Sonya, more than I do. What's one of the questions that comes to you?
Well, like, is it Caroline was saying, I also have lymphedema, and some days when mine is just flared up, I immediately put on my Prima because
Mm,
it just covers the back, it covers the high sides, and it just makes the lymphedema feel a little bit more comfortable. It's not as bad whenever I have really bad flare ups. So I would say the Prima, it depends on where you are in your journey
mhm,
and what you're looking for at that time.
mhm. And have you ever tried the extender with your Prima? Have you needed to do that for
I've had
additional compression padding or
I've had
room?
some ladies who've had to come in and they needed the extender so they could fit around their chest area and
Like for the edema or swelling on
bridge.
that day? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
I was glad I had the extender. It helped to make the sale, and they were able to wear the bra and they enjoyed it. So
Yeah. Good. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the Prima is great for running. I cannot be in a high compression bra or tight bra for too long because I actually developed from my T's, which are really dangerous blood clots in my arms.
Mm,
So I keep it on for running, and then I switch over to my Vita, where it's a little bit more loose, not as much compression. I do need a kind of uh, it's a tricky balance getting that compression for the lymphedema, and then not too much compression so I don't get a clot. But going with both of those really works for me.
awesome. If you guys haven't checked out these guys' Instagram, which you'll see them in the highlights of this video, check them out because I love the videos that you guys are doing and the information that you're giving. I love your memes. I'll call them memes. Are they called memes? Because they're so darn funny. I don't know if you had to. They're so good. Do you write those? What happens? They're so good.
I get help sometimes.
I just find audio and I'm like, how can I use this audio
Yeah,
pertaining to my audience? And I'm like, perfect. And I can kind of figure it out. Sometimes it takes a lot of digging and a long time. But it's just I honestly have so much fun doing it.
I think one of them that I thought was hilarious was it was a voiceover, one of your memes, and it was something like, have you become stronger with this challenge in your life? And you're like, well, I become funnier.
That was me.
I love that. It was really, and I think that kind of also for the two of you, you're so joyful in what you do, and I appreciate that a lot because I think it can be a challenge sometimes to focus on health and wellness when
Mm,
you're not feeling great, you know?
yeah, absolutely.
And that's
Absolutely.
one thing your bras do. It does make you feel better, even though you've been through everything else, the cancer, the radiation, the chemo, hair loss. You know, you could put on your Prima and you still feel some kind of normalcy. So
Right.
Oh, all right. Thank you. It's why we're here. Is to really educate and support other people. Guys, our time, like our half hour, is almost through, which is so crazy. And I want to make sure that I gave you each time to share what you felt you wanted to share with our Prairie Circle today. Is there anything you wanted to add or share with those folks that joined us today?
Um,
go
go ahead.
ahead, Carolyn.
Oh,
Go
just
ahead.
to piggyback on what Sonia was saying, thank you so much for supporting us so we can support other people and help us feel so much more comfortable. Um, and like I said, when I was going through it, there really weren't very many options. It was quite, oh my gosh, it's almost 10 years ago. Um, and but yeah, I would say like stick with a higher compression in the beginning. When you're, especially when you're working out, you do want a good compression with running high intensity workouts. And then if you need that extra space, switch over to the Vita or the Aria, which looks incredible. I can't wait to try it on, and I will try it on and post on it. Um, but yeah, I think that that's the main thing. I also loved what you said about like the chemicals. You kept in mind the chemicals because there it just seems like every day we're hearing about this and that. The tampons with the arsenic. I'm like, oh, So I really appreciate you guys thinking about that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was going to say the same thing that Carolyn said about just thank you all as a company for thinking about the women who have to wear these bras every day. So
Oh,
sometimes you feel like after you've gone through all the treatments, people throw you to the side, like, okay, your cancer's gone, you've had surgery, bye. And then you find out, oh, I have lymphedema. What do I do now?
mhm.
So just thank you all for thinking about the women like us who need these bras.
Yeah, our whole team is here as a part of that, and I think all of our friends and family who have been wear testers
Yeah.
for us, and certainly through their journeys, we've learned a lot about how to create the best bra for people and support wherever they're at in their journey, whether that's medical or not medical or athletic or all of those things. I think it's been such a great blessing to be able to be a part of this incredible circle of people. So
And
thank
you
you
can
guys.
always have more than one,
Yeah,
Sometimes you, like you said, you might switch 3 out in one day, depending on what you're doing that day. So
yeah, I
Absolutely.
definitely do. But I kind of have access to a lot of huggers, so but I definitely do. Well, cool. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. I really, really appreciate it. And for those of you that joined, and we have so many people watch after, like thousands of views on our circle chat. So I just love that we get to share people's experience. And you guys, if you have any questions for these two amazing, beautiful humans, please DM them, send us an email. We can connect you. But we're all here to support the journey. So thank you so much, and
Yeah.
wishing you guys a really great
Thank
day.
you.
All
Thank you
right.
so much for having us.
bye.
Yes. Thanks, guys.
Nice
Thank you.
meeting